that brought me back, and I was like, you know what? I love the look of this car.
Rear of the car is gorgeous, front of the car is gorgeous, but very, very exciting car for Volkswagen.
Exterior-wise, interior-wise, this works so well. This is what people have been waiting for. That this is the Volkswagen Polo Electric or the Polo EV. But is it worthy to carry the Polo name?
Volkswagen says this is a car for the people, just like the original Beetle. In this case, that means the car will be cheaper. It will launch in 2025 at the price of less than £23,000, which VW point out is the price of a top Polo these days.
In the front, we can see a totally new design language. Volkswagen wants to go away from, hey, round shapes and saying like, I'm electric vehicle, more to a traditional Volkswagen look, more rectangular styling, clean German design, maybe Bauhaus style. And I think that's also a good decision to bring some more true Volkswagen character back to the vehicle. What I would have wished is that it maybe placed here like a round headlamp from the VW Golf 1, a Golf 1 EV design. That's my wish list, actually.
This is the car in the flesh. The reaction to it has been absolutely massive today.
Most important messages for today is this will be sold under 25,000 euros. So this is supposed to be indeed a people's car.
Look at the front. For me, likeable is a no-brainer because Volkswagen has to be sympathetic, right?
Exactly. It needs friendly eyes, to start with. And you can see here it's very optimistic, very positive, ascending lines, so very friendly, but it comes together with a smile.
As for the length, it's 4 meters and 5 or 159 inches. That means this is the length of a Volkswagen Polo. But the interior space is supposed to be like a VW Golf offering. That also will be very interesting. 20-inch wheels right here and a very straight design line. This is the one key element. The second key element for design is that you have this very strong C-pillar right here, taken also from the Golf. Solid door handles. They went for that and not for flush door handles because they say they are not good in winter times when they move and so on, and they just make things more complicated, more expensive, and no one really needs it, and it's also not that good for aerodynamics, so they went with a lot of ideas back to the roots. The rear door handles are integrated right here. I think it's also a good solution to keep the design clean.
You give a really beautiful stance, which is sporty. And we immediately catch all the GTI fan base to make the car really racy. And, when I see the car here, I really want to drive it around corners.
And you can drive with lights in the back like whiskey glasses. No? That's sick. So.
Exactly. Really solid and strong.
I don't know, just the way I'm looking at certain angles of this car, I'm thinking GTI badge? Who knows?
Top speed will be 160 kilometers an hour or 100 miles an hour. And you can see this rear design is what I meant with German Bauhaus once again. Straight line cut off. And this also brings so much space on the interior indeed, while keeping the exterior dimensions rather small. And you can see here a very straight line for the lamps. This is more than again inspired by the older models. Illuminated VW logo here in the rear in red. That's pretty cool. And a sportier lower end. This already looks almost GTI style. It will be front wheel drive. Why? Also again to keep the costs low. Rear wheel drive has an advantage that you have a smaller turning circle, for example, and it feels more agile in driving. Front wheel drive, they can put all the components for the electric drive all in the front. On the interior, which will optionally have a panoramic roof, we see a very clean layout, modern styling on the one hand, but also retro elements here once again. That's the interior everyone would have wished for in the ID.3. Now it will come for the ID.2 or, as I expect, for the VW Polo EV. And well, the exterior dimensions are like the Polo, but the interior dimensions are supposed to be like in the VW Golf. We can see the use of microfiber. The whole interior is animal-free, and this extensive use of microfiber and also, for example, fabric on the dashboard really leads to a high-quality impression. And that's really astonishing because, as we said, this vehicle is supposed to be under 25,000 euros or under $25,000 approximately. And it is really cool that we can see a high-class interior at that price point. Very important, back to the roots also for the user interface. There are, for example, jog wheels on the steering wheel. At the inside of the doors we see, yes, indeed, 4 window levers, so not 2 anymore like in the ID.3. Once again, 4 window levers for front and for the rear, more microfiber at the inside of the doors and also fabric coverings. So we're also getting rid of high gloss black piano lacquer here. Finally, they're listening to the customers and not giving us what we never asked for. The seats have a very sporty look indeed, also a fabric microfiber mix, and they have this integrated head restraint style. At the same time, they look pretty cozy indeed. VW has had software problems and the current software is not that good, but now there's a completely new software also with new animations. Really nice here also with the typical Wolf style. Why not be a little bit joyful, but at the same time this interior is not too playful actually. It is serious enough but has some joyful elements indeed. As for the screens, on the left side you have 11-inch instruments, digital, square styling. On the right side, 13-inch big infotainment screen. And you also get a head-up display. The gears are being shifted with the right stalk column behind the steering wheel. And you will also have a separate AC unit in the lower part where you control the seat heating, the temperature, and also with a separate volume jog in the center console, which can be accessed by the driver and also by the passenger. We can also see the use of ambient lighting, in this case then the blue styling, fitting overall to this Thomas Blue exterior and interior. I think this is exactly the interior we need in a modern vehicle. We have the modern elements, at the same time we have old school elements, just that we hit the right spot between a good classic user interface and also a modern offering. Talking about that, you can change the styling of the digital instruments and the infotainment system to this more analog old school styling, being inspired from the Golf 1, for example, also here with this City of Wolfsburg logo. And you can change this mode actually with this central VW knob in the middle console. In the lower console, the VW Polo EV, let's call it that way, just has also two inductive charging pads, and they have this magnetic lock that the smartphones don't fly all over the place.
One thing you can see is the Volkswagen steering wheel that does not have haptic buttons. Volkswagen have confirmed that they're phasing them out, and earlier at a conference today there'll be no more sliders that don't illuminate in the dark as well.
The interior is nice.
The interior is nice. They've listened to the people. I think one of the things that the guys say on the stage is we want to listen to our customers, and I think they've done that. I think one of your favourites is the button. They've actually got buttons.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, I drive a Born and there's all these haptic buttons, and this has proper switches and buttons, which is lovely, but also that bit in the dashboard where you can change to make it look like the radio and the instruments from Golf or a Beetle is really cool. That's the kind of thing that people will really love.
It's not a big vehicle, but you have a lot of space and this really cool space underneath the rear bench. You can fold up the bench, and then there is this hidden space which also can be locked. So for example, you can charge your laptop in this compartment. At the same time, it is safely stored when you are away or something. In the trunk you will have 440 liters of space. Underneath there is another big space, for example for these water boxes or maybe for a suitcase. The maximum space is 1330 liters. And the really cool trick is you can fold down not only the rear bench but also the front passenger seat, and then you have a long area of 2.20 meters or 87 inches like in a huge sedan. Charging supposed to be from 10 to 80% state of charge in about 20 minutes, and I heard a 125 kilowatt charging figure. This could indeed be a problem, but I also heard that they want to improve on that. They tell us about the range of 450 kilometers. Not really sure if that's really realistic. Maybe more like 350 kilometers or 220 miles, because these official figures are not always very true, because they do this, testing cycles which are not representing real world situations.
Certainly to look at, it's an eye-catching car. The front is really, really cool. If that stays like that, of course, this is a car that's 2 years out from production, so the finished product may not look exactly like this, but a lot of excitement here today in Hamburg for the launch of the ID.2.
And I was like, you know what? I love the look of this car.
I kind of see where you're coming from, but there's retro and the interesting old style cars, but this just looks like something from the 90s. It looks like a design that they've taken off the shelf because they had it in stock. Now the rumour is, new VW design boss came in, looked at the design for what was meant to be this car and said, I don't like it.
Right.
and ordered it to be changed, and this car was made in 8 weeks. Now that's impressive, but it just looks as though some designer's gone, how about this one we had in stock?
Right, right.
From like 5 years ago.
But the electric figures, like battery size, range, and also charging speed, I think they have to do better there. They still have some more time, until it's finished, until it will reach the market, and this is actually where the focus should be going on to now.
And I also love the little bits that they've done in it, like the back seat opening up where you store your charging cable. I've not seen that in any car at all, any electric car.
No, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And the boot being so big, and there's that big thing
extra
underneath.
50 litres underneath there.
Yeah,
to store
I'm a
things.
bit confused though, because
Why?
there might be some witchcraft going on. Because the charging speeds they're saying, and the range they're saying, and the performance, and the price, and all that space
doesn't add up.
I'm not sure where the battery's going to go, because you've got this big storage thing under the boot, and under the rear seats. So where's the battery?
Won't be on sale until 2025. So quite a while away, really getting this early doors.